Hey everybody, it's Greg LaBeouf, and listen, welcome to Awaken the Protect Our Within. Now you probably heard me, you caught it there, maybe you've seen it in our graphics and our logo, but it is Awaken the Protect Our, not Awaken the Protector or Protector. It is Awaken the Protect Our, P-R-O-T-E-C-T, Protect R. Now why did we do that? Is that a spelling mistake? Is that just to be cute and cool? Is it to be something different? No, it is something more powerful than that, and that is what I want to share with you on today's podcast. A matter of fact, it is the thing that brought me back from victimization, and it is called the identity shift. So the big question was this: what do good people do when a society's laws and institutions fail to keep them safe from aggression and violence? How do you get through a growing number of angry, hateful, aggressive people and still remain physically, mentally, and emotionally strong and positive? That was the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Greg LaBeouf, and welcome to Awaken the Protector Within. Okay, so we started talking about the Protect R, and you'll see that in all of things. It's Awaken the Protect R Within. Now, listen, what is that? That is something that we call the identity shift. And I said that it actually is the one thing that helped me bring me back from victimization. So let me explain this. You see, every single person that comes to us, our whole mission is to end pain and suffering for people that is associated with aggression and violence. And now you could sit there and say, well, listen, Greg, that's awesome. And I get that violence and aggression is out there. I have to deal with these difficult people. People are under the influence and they're angry and they're bullying, they're tormented, and people feel entitled and they can say anything they want to say at any point in time. But you know what? That's just life. That's part of it, and I get it. See, here's the thing. Nobody escapes aggression and violence. Nobody. But you're either experiencing this in the single drop. You have a low level. It's varying degrees. So you might be that person who says, yeah, you know what, every day, but I'm just getting one single drop. Or you might be the person who says, listen, I got hit with the tsunami. The dam broke. I got flooded, and it is pain and suffering. I am in it. But I want you to understand, no matter where you're at, even one drop, to understand the power of one drop every day. Has anyone ever heard of Chinese water torture? Do you understand that one drop hitting you in the same way every single day for 7 days a week, 365 days a year? It won't take you long before you want to end it all. It becomes so painful. You see, it becomes chronic. It builds up in you. It gets repressed and repressed and repressed. And every day it is being impressed on you. And every day you are being repressed with it. And eventually at some point, there's the straw that breaks the camel's back. So it doesn't matter whether it's low level and one drop a day, or whether it's the tsunami that hits you. We are all affected by aggression and violence. But here's what I really want to talk about. You see, why I started with that is because no matter where you are, I got hit by the tsunami. I knew that I was scared and, that I didn't have confidence when it came to learning to defend myself. And so I always felt overwhelmed, always had an anxiety with this. But when I got hit with the tsunami, when I was in my violent assault, you see what happens is you have an identity, a self-image of who you believe yourself to be. And that's where I had a conflict, because everything I thought it was to be a man, I didn't feel that. I wasn't feeling that, so I had a conflict. So consciously, I thought, yes, I'm young, I'm strong, I'm able. I've played hockey. I've been in confrontation, and it's like I've done okay at times. Both, all of it. It was like, but I had this intellectual thought, yet I still felt afraid, because deep down, my core beliefs told me that to be a man, you shouldn't feel any fear. So you see, this was a self-image. This was an identity belief that I had. Now, when I got hit with that tsunami and I said I became a victim because they broke something mentally and emotionally, what happened was that I had the divided mind. But you see, the thing I want to really center on is that I had an identity. And that identity wasn't in line with what I thought it was to be a man, or what I thought and how I thought I should be able to handle this aggression. So here's how it relates to you. If you think about yourself, and every day you're the one, you get that drop, you're just around people and you're like, every day, that's crap, that's life, that's the way it is. You're dealing with these idiots. Okay? Well, what happens is you feel a certain way about that. That hangs with you. It causes you to feel angry. It causes you to feel some anxiety and stress. The pressure, fear, it causes you to feel, sometimes it's like you just get so frustrated that, day after day, it almost gets depressed. If you don't think so, Sunday night, you watch how most people feel. Why? Because Monday morning, they got to go back to work. You'll feel depression on those days. And people laugh and they go, it's funny, it's true, because most people have heart attacks Monday morning. Why? Because they're dreading going to work. You see, this is that anxiety and stress, but see, we begin to form a self-image. We have an identity. Now, every person that comes to us to train, they come in with a self-image. And one of the very first things that we need to do is we need to offer them a different self-image. You see, when I started in this, I was Greg LaBeouf, but I had this self-image and I had all this baggage and all this history that came with the victimization and all this personal history, the predisposition of all the stuff and the fear and the anxiety that I had for years, and feeling the conflict and thinking that, oh, you know, what is it to be able to defend myself and all that type of stuff. But one of the first things that they did for me, my instructors did, was they offered me an identity shift. They offered me identity shift. You see, right away, right at the beginning, you've got to be able to let go of the self-image you currently have, the one that is attached to failure or pain or suffering, the one that's attached to all the anxiety, the stress, the fear, the depression, the one that is uncertain, all of that stuff. We have to be able to leave that self-image behind, and we have to have an identity shift. We need something to attach our self-image to, something new, something exciting, something positive, something that frees us. And so what is that? The identity shift that we do is the protector, not a protector, not a protector. And see, what's the difference between, you say, well, that's Greg, listen, there's something that is called artificial language. And it is language that doesn't necessarily really exist, but it is a word that you develop that attaches new meaning to it. And this becomes very powerful when we're talking about things like an identity shift. So see, awaken the protector. Let me explain to you why this is so powerful. And this is the identity shift that we offer every single person that comes to us. The second we start dealing with them and talking to them, say, listen, there is something within you. There is a protector within you. Qualities within you that they are already there. Nobody has to teach you. You don't have to learn anything. You have to simply discover what is already within you. It must be woken up. Hence the awaken, the protector within you. And here, let me just jump into this. This is what it looks like, right? If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, you're going to see this. If not, I'm just going to keep explaining it to you. But protect with a capital R, protector. Now, why is that? Because there are some qualities. There are some qualities that when you discover about your survival system, your hardwired survival instincts and what they are doing for you and what you were born with, the greatest gift, you have a 200,000-year-old mind in you that is wired for survival. You can't get any more powerful than that when it comes to learning to protect yourself. You have to wake up and use that 200,000-year-old mind and those survival systems that we were born with. It's our greatest gift. But we have lost touch with it because we live in a society where we don't have to fight and protect ourselves every day. So we've lost it, so it's gone to sleep. So the new identity shift is the protector. And what we do is we wake up a couple things. One is resilient. The second is relentless. To be ready, be real, and be ruthless. Now let me explain this for you a second. You see, when I go into different organizations, it doesn't matter if it's corporate or if I'm working with people on the tactical, when we start training, we start educating, what we were doing is we're not having them learn new stuff, we're helping them discover. It's discovery development. And what they do is they start to discover that there is this survival system in them. There are these mechanisms as part of their nervous system. It's wired into them. And once they start to understand it, the truth sets them free. But there is a whole new identity out there for you. And that is the protector. You can become resilient. You see, one of the first things that you recognize when you start discovering what is already inside you is that the human spirit, the gifts you were born with, they are resilient. The human spirit is a hard thing to kill. You must understand that. You must wake that up inside of you. There are people that have suffered from depression and chronic pain and are living through just situations and circumstances that most of us, we can't even fathom being in that for a day or a week. Never mind, that's been people's lives. And yet they persevere. They are resilient. The human spirit is a powerful thing. So you become this resilient person. You become relentless. You see, human beings, we're wired. We have this survival mind in us. But there's this amazing thing called hope. And no matter how desperate your situation, I remember when I first went through this and I realized that I was the victim. They had broken me mentally and emotionally and physically. I remember saying to myself, never again. Yet I had no reason to say never again. I was deep. I was at rock bottom. I was completely broken, and I recognized that they had taken everything from me. And it wasn't just the physical. They had taken everything. But I had hope, and I said never again. Never again was hope in me. And that's where you become relentless. That's what happened to me. I became relentless. I knew there had to be answers out there. I knew I had to figure out what was going on and what they took from me, and I had to figure out a way back from that. So you become resilient, and when you have a little bit of hope, you become relentless. And then the next thing on here is to become ready. You see, with self-love, because I actually gave a crap. I knew I was hurting, but I had this hope. I could feel the human spirit. I could feel that, I knew that I could take this, no matter how bad it was. But I wanted to become ready. It was through self-love that I knew, it said, I'm worth more than this. That I started to seek out and expand my knowledge and my understanding and my capabilities. I started looking. I started to make myself ready. The next part was to be real. When you go through this and people see discovery development, when you have people that help you to discover what is already inside of you, it is so much easier to discover versus learn. All I had was I found mentors that helped me discover what was already in me. All the gifts that were in me, they allowed me to discover it, and what I had was real aha moments. See, the real part of this, awaken the protect R within you, is to get people real. See it for what it is, not worse than it is. We tend to see things worse than it is. We go into the future and we think about the worst outcome, and our mind gets crazy, and our mind uses this powerful imagination, but it doesn't use it to help us, it does it to hurt us almost. We have to see it for what it is. That's what it is to get real, to discover what's really going on. See it for what it is. That's how we get real. And the last one I have up here is ruthless. And let me tell you how this becomes. It's different than what most people think. You see, many people are accepting that aggression and violence and bullying and tormenting, and thereby you are accepting that the effects on you, that frustration and angry and annoyed with people, and the fact I hate people, these people, they're so stupid and stuff, that living with all of this is actually normal. It's just part of life. They are accepting it. You need to get ruthless. When you awaken the protect R within people, they get ruthless and they realize that, you know what? I should be mad as hell. I don't have to tolerate this. This is not okay. It's not okay that our kids go to school and get bullied. It's like we got to protect them. We've got to awaken in them a different resilience and a different relentlessness. We've got to help them get ready. We have got them to understand the realities, get real, see it for what it is that's going on. And we've got to get ruthless, which means that they do not have to accept being treated in a certain manner. They can find their own empowerment to stand up to that and free themselves from this. That's what it is to awaken the protect R. Not just to become a protector. It's not just about fighting and just say, I want to be a protector and I want to fight. To protect is part of it. But a protect R, resilient, relentless, ready, real, and ruthless. And who do we do this for? We do this for ourselves, our family, our loved ones, our friends, our community, our country. That is what it is to be a protector. That is what it is. And this is the identity shift that we offer every single person. Say, listen, no matter where you are, I got to stop being Greg LaBeouf. That was the victim. I got to stop being stuck in that story and stop carrying around that identity. And they offered me a new identity. They offered me the ability to be a protector, to understand and live in my resilience, to become relentless, to train to become ready, to keep it real, to see it for what it was, and to become ruthless, to not accept the suffering that I was living with, that I thought I was now cursed with. That is what they woken up in me, and this is what we offer every single person. To become Greg LaBeouf, the I am statement. I am a protect R. And every day resilient. When I feel bad, I know I can trust and lean into my resilience. I can be relentless in what I'm doing. Even if I fail today, I have hope, and I can be resilient and continue to drive forward. I know that it'll get better. I know that it'll pass. I can be ready, I can be real, and I can be ruthless. I do not have to accept it. So this is what I want to offer to you today. I want you to understand why everything we do is awaken the protect R within. It is an identity shift. It is a new opportunity for people to step into something, to end the pain and suffering associated with aggression and violence. So I know that I'm talking to people, if you're listening to this podcast and you're still with me now, that within you is a protect R. Within you it is there, and I want you to pick up that identity. Drop the old identity, picked up a new identity, and lean into this and do it for you, do it for yourself. Who do we do it for? Our family, our friends, our loved ones, to be the best version of ourselves we can be. All right, everybody, that's a quick one today. Actually, we're getting ready to drop into an induction. We have a 3-day combat school. This is where we bring in all brand new people. This is the entry point to our system. I can't wait. We're starting here in about 40 minutes. It's going to be phenomenal. So listen, thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe, follow, rate, add comments, leave all that. Share this if you know somebody out there that's suffering from aggression and violence or that this could benefit. Please help us spread our message. And until next time, everybody, as always, please stay safe, stay ready. Want to awaken your protector within? If so, then head to awakentheprotectorwithin.ca and get your free Off the X training today.